of you out there. I'm Justin, and I'm going to be reviewing Sharknado 3 right now. It's a movie that I just watched. The Sharknado 3 is the third installment of the Sharknado series. The first two were cult classics just because of Twitter. And this one also stars Ian Ziering, Tara Reid, and a couple others from the first one. Like, you had the character April from the first movies in this movie. Not for good reason, but Hollywood. This is actually the second time doing this review because I recorded the first time and it was a very long review. But my computer lost it all. Not responding. Lost all the freaking footage I shot for this video. Anyway, I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought it was going to. It was actually a lot more interesting than the first two. First two had parts that were very slow and boring. This one kept going. A lot of times it made no sense, but it's Sharknado. Anyway, so the movie starts when they're in Washington, D.C., and Ian Ziering's character is getting this award from the president saying that he saved the world, and so he gets a golden chainsaw. Then, of course, Sharknado's attack. It's DC. They go everywhere. Bad special effects. Good lighting. Bad special effects. Thing is, the special effects, they're not as bad as I would say they could be. It's just the sharks that look awful. Everything else looks good. Digitally, just the sharks look awful. Like they just wanted the sharks to look bad because they looked bad in the first two. They improved on everything else. The budget must have been a lot bigger in this one. A lot of this movie takes place at Universal Studios, which is a very fun place if you've been there, but they just make all these scenes on different rides. Like so Ian Ziering's daughter is there with Tara Reid while he's in DC, and she goes on a roller coaster, and then she loses her phone. So then it's all about Tara Reid's character and then Ian Ziering's character trying to find the phone. But then they both meet on top of the Hollywood ride rocket, and then Ian Ziering gets trapped on the ride. But it's very unexplained how it happens. Could never happen the way it's Sharknado. Anyway, so he gets trapped on the ride. He goes on the ride while a shark is on the car too. And then the car just flies off for some reason, and it lands in the ride twister. Somehow he lands right there, totally safe. No blood aneurysms, no broken bones, no, perfectly safe. He lands inside another ride. One thing about this movie is it took itself really seriously, and then it didn't take itself seriously at all. It's like they have this big serious scene, and they just ruin it how they change to the next scene. Like, oh, they're in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they just fly with no flight experience right to Orlando, Florida, in a pool in Universal Orlando. And then after that, Ian Ziering and the girl that plays April, I don't know who her real name is, they get out of the water, and April's in her underwear, because, it's Sharknado. The director wanted to show some tits and ass just because he can, but it's network television, so she had underwear on, so I guess it's okay. I don't know. And Ian Ziering with his shirt off, looking very muscular, just walking out, everybody's looking at them. Like, yeah, we did that. Don't know how their clothes fell off. Don't know how you made it into that specific location, but you go. I've said there were a lot less silly punchlines and stuff in this movie than the preceders, or the ones before. There was not that many actual jokes. It tried to really take itself seriously, which I think is kind of a joke in itself. But anyway, in the one-liners were at the worst times. That's why I didn't understand why you even have them. And I gotta say, if you haven't seen the movie already, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But David Hasselhoff's character did not fit in the movie at all. I'm gonna get some hate for this. I don't care. He didn't fit at all. He was just there as Ian Ziering's father. Like, the director was like, "Oh, we can get the Hoff? Oh, we'll just put him as the father." And then they go on this big space exploration scene. There's sharks and big CGI sharks and all that jazz. But I have to say, the space scene was actually pretty decent CGI. Like, when they're in space with the real spacesuits, I was very surprised. I was like, oh, that's pretty good. Then the sharks show up and it looked all fake again. But until then, yeah, pretty good. I don't want to ruin this movie too much for people that haven't seen it. But at the end of the movie, it's like all is well, and Tara Reid has the kid. Oh, there's just Tara Reid's pregnant in the movie. Some part of the story, I don't know what's there. Anyway, and then randomly a shark comes down and is about to hit Tara Reid, and then the movie ends. But then it says, will she survive? Will she not survive? Vote online on sci-fi.com and these Twitter links and whatever that's called, the hashtags. And then they said, you will find out in Sharknado 4. We gotta wait a whole another year. She's gonna survive. We all know that. We're not gonna listen to the actual survey results. Heck, the script's probably already written. Hollywood will keep making these movies because we'll all still watch them. We did this, people. Yay. Hell, I enjoyed Sharknado 3. And I'm gonna give it a C minus. Like, C minus. Okay, I'm not making the stupid hand signals. If you haven't seen it, I'd like to see your thoughts on it. Comment below. As Jeremy John says, let me know. I'm working on my own slogan there. It's coming. There's gonna be something in beta pretty soon. Anyway, if you liked it, like. If you didn't like it, like. Just subscribe to me, okay? Just subscribe, okay?